So the thing that I think about a lot of times is I think sometimes when we just need our jump start, we need to get going, when we need to feel a little energy, and maybe we've had a little doldrums or have had a couple no's in our lives. Maybe it's time to try something new. And we can do it in all kinds of ways. It's a new product, it's a new service, it's a new vertical, all kinds of ways that we can do it. But today on office hours for September 24th, 2025, on an odd Wednesday, we'll talk about why we're doing this on a Wednesday here in a second. We're going to say, hey, try something new. Too many of our partners do the same thing every day, every week, every month, all year. And there's a huge, big opportunity out there that we're missing. And we're going to talk about that today. But before I go any further, let me bring up on the screen on the left hand or center part of your screen. Forgot I've redone these a little bit. I got the names right, got the pick cameras right. In the center part of your screen, the reason we're doing this today, because she's going to be gone tomorrow. I've been out of town for the last 2 Thursdays. 2 Thursdays ago, was it? On a Wednesday, we were hiking up because I think we did 600 feet up a mountain in Scottsdale, Arizona. Mrs. Jenny Rickle. Jenny, how are you? And it's been a while. It's kind of like we got to get back on the horse. Try something new. How about actually put content out, PayProTec? Jenny, how are you?
Doing fantastic. Yeah, a couple weeks ago in Arizona, that place is so hot. So it definitely made me appreciate the Colorado cool air. And it was so fantastic to everybody that we saw at the show. It was great seeing you. If you missed it, come check the next one. We had a fantastic time. So it was great and it's good to be back.
It is good to be back. And it is hot. And I will say this. So 2 weeks ago today, I was flying back from Scottsdale. No Thursday content. No, 2 weeks ago from tomorrow. It's Wednesday. Never mind. I'm so confused what day it is. And then last week, can you imagine this, Mike? You're an Indiana native. I was born in Michigan, but have lived a lot of years of my life here in Indiana. I'm 2 hours south of where you're at right now. I was in Las Vegas last Thursday, and it was
Uh,
hotter in Indiana by about 15 degrees than it was in Las
shoot.
Vegas that day. And that Thursday, I was at Vision East helping one of our partners out, or Vision West. That would be make more sense. Vision West, the expo there at the Venetian. It was raining all last Thursday, which was my first experience of. I saw two
Yeah.
beautiful rainbows in Las Vegas, something I'd never seen. Surprise, Mike. How are things in Warsaw? And is it? It falls finally here, right?
I think yeah, technically it is. You're right. Calendarly speaking, a little bit lower temperature. Still going to be 80 today. Gosh, it's still great time of year. I just dread the couple months in between now and spring where it gets cold and snowy and messy. But you know what? It's great most of the time here in Indiana. Like you said, I'm a native. You grew up in similar climate. Neither one of us have strayed too far, so we're used to it. But ready for an exciting, bonus office hours because you and I will be back tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to get this one in because Jenny is gone the next on Thursdays, and so we thought, okay, we've been not getting enough content out. So tomorrow there will be a Mike and I, and we'll be interviewing one of our partners, Robert Stashak, who's gone from ATMs to selling. So it's a little plug. You can see that tomorrow at noon. But today, Jenny, we're going to kind of talk about things that are new, and some of it is even things for new for ourselves because
Right.
we deal with our partners and we kind of have we you guys do the same thing over and over. And some of it's on us over incentivizing certain things. But let's start with this. I don't know the exact number. I could have looked it up. Don't know. But most of our terminals that are out there that are put out are usually pay anywheres, usually the smart terminal, the A920 Pro, PAX, majority. We have other options available to our partners. Jenny, can you walk us through those other options that be able to try something new and we kind of talk about maybe what some of those reasons are?
Yeah, something that I feel like people don't quite realize about PayProTech is that we also offer Deja Vu and Valor. I was going to say Deja Vu, combine them. So Valor and Deja Vu are great options. We actually house them in our warehouse in Indiana. So we program them, we deploy them. So we have a lot of control over them and we can help with the specifics of the download. We were talking before the show and I learned something new is that the Valor can handle a deposit. So if you have like a lawyer, a law office, or something like that where there's a deposit and then they pay the rest later, Valor can handle that, right? So it's cool things like that with neat features that sometimes I feel like we don't shout out from the rooftops enough. So I would love to definitely address that today. Try something new, try a new terminal. If you don't like the pay anywhere, if you're not a fan of the Ingenico, we have a solution for you. So we have those options.
And find the right solution. these are proven terminals. The Deja Vu lines and the Valor lines, tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands of each their different versions. They have multiple different styles on both on Deja Vu. And I'm making a verbal commitment that I'm going to work with Billy West, and we're kind of waiting on the Deja Vu. We have some new terminals and their new gateway coming on. We're in beta with that right now. So with that, but the Valors are we have, I think, their whole suite of products. We're already ready to go. We'll do some specific trainings on those terminals, probably maybe a little bit through office hours, and probably a little more in depth, making sure that you understand. The cool thing, Mike, about Valor and Deja Vu is if the partner wants, they can be more.
The terminology. But if you have that terminal in your hand, all we need to do is provide you, and I cannot remember the term, with that number. You learn how quickly to do that. You add it in, you do the download. That's a live terminal now. It's just that simple. Send an email to the partners team, send an email to your relationship manager. We'll get it done with our guys here in the office in Warsaw, and it's quick. And I think a lot of our partners love that show of boom to the merchant. Hey, look, you asked me for service. I got you approved in 24 hours, and here I am with your terminal today.
Yep. And there are things when it comes to terminals that I think we we get into one and we just keep doing it. And there is certain repetition and you learn things and you learn how to do it. That's not a bad thing sometimes, but there are features that are outside of the Pay Anywhere that are available in the Valor, that are available in the Deja Vu that you should make sure you know and understand and look at, because if you don't look at them, you're missing out on some opportunities and you're missing out on some verticals maybe you need to go after. And what I want to talk about now is not only should you try some new products, and we'll talk about something new, other new products you might want to try. And later today on POS Uncensored, we're going to talk about all the POS systems, and Matt's going to tell us what's new on these POS systems that you should know about. But or I guess that's tomorrow. Sorry, it's Thursday. Tomorrow on POS Uncensored. But today, Jenny and Mike, we'll go Mike since we went first, Jenny last time. Like, what would be some of the verticals that you know of that maybe our partners aren't going after, that have volume, that have opportunity for margin, that maybe be something for them to consider because it's not as competitive as going after brick and mortar stores or going after restaurants and that kind of thing that we tend to be our sweet spots for a lot of our partners. But there's a lot of other types of merchants that we're not looking at.
There's a couple that come to mind. One would be I'm trying to think of the word, a large manufacturer. I've seen a couple recently. One is a company that manufactures fencing, and they process hundreds of $1,000s a month because they're selling it at $10,000, $25,000, $50,000 an order. You would see the outside of this factory and think, it's a factory. What do I. But some of those things take a little more digging. It take a little more time to make a phone call and find that person. But because of that, that means they're not getting bugged every day like everyone else is in the strip mall. Another one that we talked about before we went live is attorneys. Again, attorneys are the same as other people. They're not taking the kind of cash that they would have years ago. There are deposits they take. There are retainers they take. There are, hey, I'm going to pay you $2,000 up front, Mr. Lawyer, and then I know I owe you $200 a month for the next 12 months to finish my case, whatever that might be. Those are things we can easily do with Payments Hub, Authorize.net, Fluid Pay, any of our gateway solutions. So think about those as a couple. Again, it's not one where people are walking up and down the strip mall, going into these factories or going into these lawyers' offices. It takes a minute to maybe get that appointment, to maybe get in that door and just say hello to the the gatekeeper and work from there. But it's a unique opportunity. It's different than what everybody else is doing, and potentially very high volume with a simple conversation.
Well, and I would say consider one of the things, try something new. And we haven't really talked about it as it's been reintroduced, but there are multiple, not there's the Payment Hub's ACH product and multiple other ACH products that you have the capability of offering. And in a law office, there's a
Great point.
lot of opportunities with these ACH products. They like that. They're used to that. They're probably already doing that through their bank, often at a higher rate than what we can offer them. We obviously can do a cost analysis, look at those, be strategic about how we put that together. Looking at a lot of those places that are looking to do those retainings, those recurring payments, and are doing those card not present. And you're looking at the things like ChargeZoom and Biller Genie and some other products that we have that we are looking both. We have Biller Genie you can use with NMI and Authorize.net. ChargeZoom has a direct connection. Biller Genie soon, hopefully in the next couple months, we'll have that too with EPX. All these things you can start looking at building those products. I like going after lawyers. But Jenny, do you have any other ideas? What are some verticals that if they want to try something new that we see untouched or underutilized as going after as our sales professionals are out there in the field?
Yeah, to kind of expand on what Mike was saying about the large manufacturers, like people who sell wholesale, like they are going to have some large transactions, some high volume, and then they have their clients that they can sell to that they might
Hmm.
recommend you to as well. So whether it's going to be like fencing, hot tubs, maybe a local marketing firm, right? Things like that, where you can go ahead and get their business, but it'll help get your reputation out as a sales partner to all of their clients. That's going to be really helpful. And then something that I have around here in my area, there's a lot of travel agencies slash adventure type of bookings that I think that people kind of shy away
Mm.
from, that they're very prominent. And then kind of back to like the deposit, like maybe they're going to rent a razor or a side by side for a day, or go on a rafting adventure, right? Or a travel agency like book your trip to Colorado. Like there's things like that that are out there. I actually have a sales partner who's really getting into travel agencies in a different form. It's not like they're booking their flights like we used to in 10-15 years ago, but they're really planning their whole vacation as a package, and they're using our services. So there's some opportunities out there that if you just kind of take a look, they're going to be available.
Oh, I like that, Jenny. That's a really good idea. And
Uh-huh.
especially if you're in vacation areas. I watch this when I do vacation rentals. I'll start at Airbnb or Verbo and look at those. But a lot of times what they're trying to do is get me to rent directly through them so they don't have to pay Airbnb and Verbo. And those are usually localized companies that are renting multiple rentals in an area,
Mhm.
in a vacation area, whether it's in the mountains like Jenny or in the ocean areas. If you're living probably in, more farming and agricultural, probably not something you can go after. But there are plenty of tourism places that have even seasonal work. Because I think about this, and Jenny, you would know this more than I would, but I mean, a lot of times I think seasonal, oh, summer, the beach, everybody's going in, but you guys are about to come into your next seasonal work there in the
Oh,
Rockies,
Hmm.
where suddenly a lot of businesses are going to pop up serving those who are coming to ski.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those are really cool things to go after. I love that idea. And to think through and put a package together, maybe with a new terminal where you're thinking through all the needs they may have, because those type of places, they may take a $500 deposit and then charge XYZ and then they return the 500 when it returns. There's certain things they may have to do to put that, if you're renting large pieces of, a side by side, I imagine they take some type of deposit or something to protect themselves. I would think. I don't know. Never rented one of those, but I have rented cars, and I know they do that in cars. So, um, other ideas of verticals? Anything else we want to add to this particular section?
I, yeah, I was just going to say, find places that are off the beaten path. It may be not so much a new vertical, but it's in a different neighborhood than you usually travel. Go somewhere where not everybody else is going, whether it's a small town, whether it's just a different neighborhood than you live in. Just go where they're not being bugged all the time, and maybe you're going to make somebody feel special. And, hey, this guy came to help me, So go check that out. Get into a different area. Get out of a rut maybe that you're in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
And
Going
don't be
someplace.
afraid either. I feel like
Yep.
people get intimidated by larger businesses. Like if there's I mean, kind of like, again, I work in a very tourist area. So there's a caverns that sells tickets every day, right? To do gondola rides up to the caves and things like that. And so I feel like most people, because it's a larger business and they sell tickets and stuff, it's a little intimidating, but don't be afraid, right?
Hmm.
Like try those things. And like Mike said, like get off the beaten path to where the restaurants, the brick and mortars, like things that just expand your horizon a little bit. And there's a lot of opportunity out there.
Yeah. And you may not want to. I like that idea of going after. I think of just near me here, there's an area called Park 100 here in Indianapolis, and it's all
Hmm.
warehouses. And so some of them are Lilly, and I wouldn't walk in Lilly and try to get their credit card processing, but a lot of them are 50,000 square foot startups
Mhm.
that are making something that's unique, and they're sitting here because it's close to the airport and they can ship it around the world, and they get FedEx to do it really quickly. And there are all kinds of stuff. We don't think about that. And it's not as easy. You don't even know what they sell right away when you walk in, but it also
Right.
couple hours of research and you're going to be able to figure out who all these things are. Go find all the addresses, who they are, and be able to figure out who you're going to ask for, what you're going to be. And there are in Park 100, I think there's over 6,000 businesses just sitting 2.5 miles from me, and no one's going there. I know our local sales partners that are here in Indianapolis don't go into there. It's a little more difficult, but it's certainly something that is open. It would be interesting and fun to be able to do. Uh, Talking about ways you sell, um, and we this is where a lot of it is a skill set, and so you learn how to do that. But maybe it's maybe it's selling a different way, trying something new in how you sell. Maybe it's doing one day on the road and one day on the phone. I always we have some very successful call centers. I think they would be more successful if they would spend one day on the road going door to door and figuring out how these businesses actually work and be more successful on their call center. And I think vice versa, as our people that just go
Yeah.
door to door knocking would be more successful if they'd figure out, how to do phone calls, how to do emails, how to bridge different types of things. Is there anything that comes to mind on different ways that people are selling that they could try something new? This was a question I did not tell them that I was asking. So,
I feel like we talk about it a lot, but it's highly underused is AI.
yeah.
You can create some fantastic marketing, whether it's on Instagram or just your webpage. I was talking to a sales partner at our last show, and he was creating entire content of commercials. And there wasn't an actor, you know what I mean? It wasn't anything. It was all complete AI, and it was all over the Instagram feed of people who follow him. So I feel like if you haven't dipped into that world yet, because it is so new, try it. If you don't like it, scratch it, go back. But back to what Nate is saying is that try something new. If it doesn't work, no harm done. And if it does work, you're going to thrive yourself up into the next level.
Yep. Let's finish this up by trying something new and specifically talking about, um, and I've been watching this, trying to add new value adds beyond merchant services. What are things that you think of that either our
Mhm.
partners don't currently utilize, underutilized, or maybe even don't know about? And I have a couple ideas, but I'll let you guys jump in there so I don't take them from you before. What are some third party things that aren't even things PayProTec specifically offers, but merge well together and may even become the lead to get to the merchant processing? Ideas?
Yes.
Mike?
Uh, yeah, I've dealt with a couple partners in their training recently, and one of them has created or already has some marketing packs, whether it's search engine optimization, whether it's social media management, whatever it is. They've created these marketing packs, and oh, by the way, when you sign up with us as a merchant, you're going to receive the 99.99 per month pack number one for free. Anything else is an add-on. Or, as this person and I have spoken about, maybe with this particular merchant, the marketing is the lead in, because you have a case here where if you sell multiple things, you have the ability to get up to two, three, or four no's. So there's a lot more to share. And in a lot of cases, this social media is a little bit more, let's say, of a softer introduction, if that's what you want to use, if that's your personal skill set. And that's just one of a lot of different skills that our partners have, whether it's selling office supplies, selling TV, internet, whatever it is that can be combined, or it can be, hey, when you take this offer of payment processing, you're going to get this for free or this for half price. I've encouraged a lot of people to blend together their two pieces of business because it gives them two shots to even get the foot in the door then.
Yeah, I mean, I think putting if you have expertise, I think I know who you're talking about that I recently talked to. Gentleman also and their family is in German Fest, so I hope they're enjoying that. Um,
They're at the real German Fest, by the
yes,
way.
yeah,
Yes,
yes, German
the
Fest
one in
in
Germany.
Germany. but but putting those things together, and I think one we've missed on, and we don't talk about it often. I think we've done it twice probably on office hours over the time we've been doing office hours, MCAs, merchant cash advances, but our partner
Mm,
at Cash Buoy or others. Jenny, what are other things you think of that are third party things that tie together with what we do? Maybe and we can
Mhm.
expand more on what an MCA is. Some people may not know that. Um, that may be helpful to sell and try something new.
Oh yeah, we have a lot. So MCAs first and foremost give your business the ability to have some extra money for some overhead, right? If it's a salon, they can buy their chairs and their, their mirrors. If it's a restaurant, they can buy kitchen equipment, like whatever it is, they can get a cash advance from us to help their business grow. And then they just pay us back through their processing. So they don't have to apply for a loan. They don't get that hit on their credit. It's a fantastic program for a business who needs to expand, but they aren't looking to go get an actual loan. Come to us. Other options are loyalty programs, right? I love our loyalty programs and gift cards as well. But loyalty programs are big just because it gets those repeat customers. Give them coupons, give them a discount, customize it to whatever works best. We have the ability for taxes. De novo is what it's called. Sorry, but we help with your sales tax, right? You can set it up and take that off the business's plate to calculate and pay their sales taxes every single quarter or month, whatever it is. We have programs to help that. And we talked upon it earlier, ACH. So along with credit cards, we can help process credit cards. We have a lot of other options to help businesses grow, expand, offer their services and their goods to their merchants. So we have a lot of options and opportunities there as well.
That's perfect. And the end of the day, we have come past equinox in the fall. We're now fully at the end of our third quarter, staring down fourth quarter, the most celebrated quarter of every year as we go into the end of the year and retail and hospitality through the roof. And we see all kinds of corporate spending and all the stuff. It's time to try something new. It's try to at least do one of these things. All the stuff that we've mentioned, there's lots more. And one of the great ways is go get an extra training, talk to your relationship manager, watch old episodes of Office Hours and POS Uncensored, get ideas from other partners, just try something new, continue to kickstart and continue to make sure that you're going up and to the right, making sure that growth is happening in your portfolio with your merchants.
yep.
As we close out today, I didn't say who was doing closing. We're going to let Mike Stetzel do the closing word as we close today. I will highlight we are doing a special live training, 1 o'clock next Wednesday. The email will go out on Friday, so you can watch on it. The link, you could already get yourself notified. Go to our live section in YouTube. It's already up there. I think it may actually say it's Tuesday. We just moved it to Wednesday. It's with Danny Shard and Jason Lee Cook. We're calling it the blueprint to building your first $100,000, 100K. And the idea is how can you get to that first $100,000? But even if you've been in the industry and already made $100,000, some of the things we're going to be presenting there are going to be ways to maximize your income. So make sure you check that out. Want to make sure we advertise and talk about that. Mike, what is our closing word for this September 24th for 2025?
So yeah, equinox means equal night. Anyway, we're past that now. Unfortunately, it means the days are getting shorter. And then, 3 months from now, we ramp back up, and that's always what I look forward to. So I think just trying to look ahead and be positive. Um, it kind of goes along with trying something new. You may need a boost. You may need a little something to kick you out of whatever funk you might be in, whether it's things that are happening in your life personally or things that are happening with your business. Go out and do something different one day. Um, go out, take somebody with you. Maybe it's somebody from one of your groups. Whether it's a service group, whether it's some sort of a lead group. See if they want to go out and learn what you do, and vice versa. Anyway, I'm just saying, do something different. Get yourself out of the doldrums. Fall's coming. It's going to be darker during the day sooner. We got to take care of ourselves now. So let's do it. Let's be part of that.
Love it. On behalf of Jenny Rickle, Mike Stetzel, my name's Nate Manahan. This has been another episode of Office Hours. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Actually, tomorrow at noon with Mike and I and Robert Stashak. Bye.